All right, it looks like we are live finally. Sorry about being a little bit late, but Google was being googly. So now we're live on, for you guys who don't know me, I'm Luke Weber, and this is our Sips and Flips episode here with my good buddy Keith Yackey, who decided to come in town to take care of some stuff. And I convinced him to stick around and have a few drinks with me, and we're going to go hit up a hockey game tonight.
I'm pumped.
So thanks, buddy, for coming on. So the format for you guys who have not been to one of these or have not watched one of these is sips and flips. So alcohol comes first, and then we talk real estate. So today we're going to do Keith's preferred drink, which I'll grab this bottle if you want to grab the bigger bottle.
This one?
We're doing some root beer and Tito's.
Yes, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
So you don't have to have root beers and Tito's with us, but
hey,
we encourage
do
a
they
drink
know
of
these glasses? You got big old square pieces of ice and glasses.
Specialty, and that's company logo glasses too.
I love it.
Look at everybody joining in. Hey, Shannon, Lauren,
yeah, what's up,
Daniel,
gang?
Marcus, Matt, Parker, Bob. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Yeah.
So Keith, why don't you pour a little? You gotta do it up so the camera can see.
Oh yeah, okay. So just 1 second per shot, right?
Yeah, I mean it's just the ice goes up.
1,000. Oh dang, that would be aggressive, dude. I'll let you do yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna do mine. And now we always encourage safe drinking and driving.
Yep.
So thank you, Tito's.
Absolutely.
You want your root beer in there?
Yeah, of course.
So we're gonna do a little bit of
and I'll do a little root beer chasers too.
root beer chaser.
Yeah.
And that's what we're having today.
Yeah, we're just sipping our way through one this sexy.
Hopefully everybody can hear us. If you can hear us, give a wave and let us know, or say yes, please. And then for anybody that is enjoying a tasty beverage with us, cheers.
Yeah.
Feel free to comment on what you are actually having as well. So make sure you take advantage of the comments. You guys can ask us questions. But before we get into questions, we are I'm going to give a little background about how Keith and I met, but I gotta take a drink first.
Yeah, you sip it up. By the way, this office is so cool. This is the first time I've been to this office.
That's good.
So, Tito's and root beer. Who would have ever thought that would have been so good?
Can you guys hear us? Someone comment, please, if you can hear us. I hope you can.
Do you? Absolutely.
Absolute lime.
Absolutely.
There we go. Matt can hear us. Matt knows Matt knows the drill. He's been on one of these before.
Nice.
So Keith and I met about 6-7 years ago when I was really kind of looking to take my business to the next level, and I started delving in and figuring out that, hey, there's more than what I was doing, and I needed to really stop. So my story was I needed to stop being the guy in the back of the room holding my drink, waiting for people to come to me.
Yeah.
So I started getting out there and meeting people, and I luckily met you.
Yeah.
And you actually, Keith gave me a lot of my best advice that I'd ever heard on raising private money. Right.
Yeah.
So that, I took what you taught me with what I was doing, tweaked a bunch of stuff, and now you actually came to me. I've got more than I need right now. But
that was such a cool call, though.
Yeah.
That's a cool call. Can I tell? Well, let me introduce you then. Are you done?
All right, let's go.
So I remember I met you. It was probably the better part of 7 years.
Yeah.
And we're talking private money. We're doing stuff. And you just did it. And next thing you know, I tell people about you all the time. I'm like, oh, yeah, this guy, he's way better at this shit than anybody I know. You know what I mean? And you are. And your book, if I ever talk to somebody and I can't help them, I mean, they can't come into any program I do or whatever, I just go, you got to go read this book. And that's your book, dude. And
I appreciate it.
Not only did we have that, that's kind of how our relationship started, but man, you've been coming to my birthdays and we've been hanging out, we've been drinking, and we've done so much together. And this is so fun to do this. I'm really honored to be here.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, real estate related, please ask them, type them in. Whether you're doing it live or actually doing it in the posted video, I'll go back and answer the question. So please chime in there if you're watching this on the replay. But yeah, unfortunately, you moved back to California.
Yeah, well, I'm always
this
a
summer.
Nevada resident.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I just visit there quite a lot.
For 179 days a year, you're in California.
And those days, I am surfing Dana Point Strand with good people and loving life.
Good.
So,
what's your preferred root beer? I know he's a Tito's guy for vodka. Now Keith isn't like a huge drinker. You are. But
no, let's be honest here. I'm going to be honest. I would rather do a gummy edible, from the plant source. So that would be my preferred method of, letting
your hair out,
letting my hair down. So, but no, my wife actually, Jessie, turned me on to Tito's. I didn't know anything about it. It's gluten free, and so that's what she had to drink. And Jessie's an amazing lady, and Jessie with 2 shots in her is an even more amazing lady.
She is.
It's just she's got that motherly thing where we can hang out, and so I don't know. I hang out and you'll know she'll take care of you. So back to the sips part. Yeah, that's what
Tito's. Today's episode is sponsored by Tito's.
Tito's.
Handmade vodka from Texas.
Yeah.
They are not an official sponsor, but if anybody knows anybody at Tito's, hook me up.
Yeah, so they might be thinking, they all probably know you've done a shit ton of deals. I've done hundreds and hundreds of flips, own hundreds of rentals. I think I'm up to about $48 million raised. Now, are you guys further? You probably raised a lot more than that.
I haven't looked at those numbers in about 3 years.
But at any rate, you've done such amazing things, man.
I appreciate it.
And it's an honor to call you friend. It's an honor to be able to say that I was able to teach you some cool stuff. But actually, what would you say what was one of the biggest lessons that you would say, you know what, I picked that up from Keith?
I'm on the spot.
Or
while I think of that, you got Marcus asking a question to you. What's up, Keith? You were always killing it on raising money back in the day. What happened to the band? Let me think about my best lesson from you, and I will. They can partake in your storytelling.
Okay, cool. Hey, Marcus wholesaled me a deal really, really early on.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember the address. Maybe you probably don't either, but. I do remember meeting you when I was very first starting out. So, man, that was almost 12 years ago.
Yeah, I think Marcus worked the auctions for a good long time, right, bud?
Yeah, I think so. So, but anything you guys want to know about raising private money? Sometimes it's not even a tactic; it's a philosophy. And I know I'm big on the psychology of raising private money, so sometimes that might be a thing too for people.
I think one of the things that definitely stands out for me is. And I've definitely taken this philosophy and run, is that it's just as easy to raise $250,000 than it is to raise $10,000. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's actually even easier to raise a big chunk of money versus a little chunk of money. I know there's a lot of people out there that like to reach out to friends and think 5,000 here, 10,000 here, and pretty soon you got 10 people invested on your flip. And then it's just scary bad.
Yeah.
And you're answering to 10 different people versus just one person. If you have somebody that has $250,000, guess what? They probably have a whole lot more behind that.
Yeah. And
they don't need the constant update to the babysitting of it.
Yeah.
So that was something that, I stopped chasing little money and really went after big money, and that was something that helped me out a lot.
Oh, that's cool, man. You know what else is really cool about that is people always ask me, Keith, should I talk to friends and family? I'm like, better hold off and let them come talk to you. Like, do such a good job that they're coming to you like, what's going on over here? And they're like, oh, well, let me introduce you to what's going on. And I think that if you're learning how to raise private money, you're young in the game, or just you want to grow it to the next level, just by finding people that have 250,000, there's a very good chance that they understand the game a lot more too. There's not that education curve either. And what you and I do, we'll look up local addresses. We'll go after people that are already in the game and say, well, dude, they already like investing in real estate.
Right. It's
a game you're playing.
It's not a hard sell.
Yeah, you're not converting a vegan into eating a burger. You know what I mean? It's like they got it. So I think the other thing that is one of my favorite things to share with people about raising private money is the psychology of how do lenders make money? They lend. And sometimes we're thinking like, oh my gosh, we're like trying to beg. No, you go find private lenders that are already lending.
Yeah.
Whether you talk to title and escrow agents, say, hey, who are you writing? Who has more private money running through this place? Who's loaning?
Yeah.
Well, hey, do you mind introducing me to them?
And guess what? They usually have their own paperwork too, depending on how experienced they are.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it that much easier.
But you're not trying to convert the unconverted. You're just like, they love real estate. They already are like, this is the vehicle I want to pull my gas into.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. And they want to do it passively too, which is great.
Yeah.
They don't need to be part of the deal. I've always hated it when private investors wanted to be part of the deal. And even when they had like a set return, they're like, well, can I see the receipts? Like, that doesn't affect your outcome at all. Why do you want to see them? But yeah, you can see them, but I'm not going to take your money again because you're too much of a headache for me.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing to be able to say, no, I don't want your money.
Yeah. It's either too expensive or it's too expensive.
Yeah.
It's either I have to pay too much or God, I got to pay too much in just emotional tax.
Well, and time is so valuable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think everyone here, and again, if you are having a sip with us, let us know.
This is such a cool format. I love everything about it.
Well, so when I do my big parties,
Mm-hmm.
and I know there's people in this chat that have been to my parties. We've got always food and booze at those, and I'll usually be drinking plenty of tequila those nights. And it's just open forum and sharing and trying to help people. And bringing people together, and not everybody can come to Vegas for a party, although I wish they could.
Yeah.
I actually need to plan my next one. But this kind of lets everybody kind of come together virtually and still partake in it. And I've closed a bunch of deals at bars. I'm not a golfer. Yeah. And I close deals at bars. So this is the way to bring that bar conversation, private bar conversation to everybody.
It. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so we've got Lauren Woods Garza. Hi, Lauren. And I'm going to answer your question. And then Joanne said hi, or that she met us. Hey, how are you, Joanne? Stoked you're here. So Lauren, you said, I'm inching closer to my first flip in a very competitive market. I have my hard money lender and I'm looking for a private lender. As a newbie, how can I convince a private lender to want to work with me? Should I take that?
Please. Okay, it was addressed to you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, actually it wasn't. It was open, but I'll let you field it.
Okay, perfect. These are the most comfortable chairs, dude. I love it. Like, you can just rock back at it and be like, good. So, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's so great. I'm also excited about this and our hockey game tonight.
Go Knights, go.
Dude, go nachos, go. I want those nachos. Okay, so Lauren, one of the things that I like to do to help build credibility is I like to show I was reading that.
You get distracted.
Yeah, sorry. I was reading that comment. Okay, Mark,
down.
That's the next one. Sorry. This guy scrolled down, lost my focus. An investor wants to know that there's proof that what you're wanting them to do has worked in the past. So when I show somebody how to really show yourself credible, even if you've never done a first flip, is go find 3 or 4 deals that have been done in that area. Find out what the what they purchased it for. Find out what it sold for. Get a hold of the agent that listed that particular property, so you can try and get a hold of the contractor and find kind of an estimate of what it looked like they did. That way, you know what the purchase price was. You know what the renovation is. You know what the sold price is. And so those closing costs and commission will be anywhere between 8 and 10% of whatever you sell the thing. So you basically know, if it was an all cash deal, what the profit is. Yeah. And so what you can do is just put 3 or 4 of those properties that have been flipped in the last 30, 60, 90 days, just put them together and say, hey, listen, here's the deal here's the deal we're doing. And by the way, the contractor that did all these deals is on deck wanting to work with us. The realtor that brought these deals and the realtor that sold these deals is wanting to work with us. And so what happens is the credibility of them already doing those deals kind of gets transferred to you in some weird, interesting way. It's not only just their credibility, but the fact that you were able to say the people that are responsible for this part, and this part, that's who's here. This is what they've done. And now I know how to orchestrate it all.
Yeah. And the best way to get that information for that realtor to share that information is to say, hey, I saw you sold this one. Looks like you did a great job. Awesome marketing. I'm looking at doing my first flip. I'm looking for a contractor. Do you have a contractor with the name of that person? And also, when I'm done with my remodel, are you taking on new investor clients? Because I would like to have you potentially list it for me.
I love it.
Because now you're dangling a carrot, right? I love dangling carrots. And so they're more apt to get you that information. The contractor will actually have the rehab numbers that they put into it. And you get that from them. So you actually can cut out even talking to the original investor, which is usually more tight-lipped. Unless it's one of mine, I usually share information.
But you know, that's such a good point. And usually if you ask that realtor who was on that you might say, hey, who was the realtor who did, or who was the contractor who did this? And they may be like, well, that was Jeff, but honestly, he did an okay job. Let me introduce you to Mark, who I'm normally used to working with. And so you might get 2 or 3 great contractors that way. So that's why I always like when anybody's first starting, I go build a credibility package of the area you want to flip, because it just shows who to talk to and what you're doing.
It not only shows for credibility, but it increases your network right there. So
exactly.
You're usually talking to 3 to 5 realtors out of that group, and you're hopefully finding another 2 to 5 contractors potentially out of that group as well. Meanwhile, you're also finding out if they, what title company did you use? Because they must be investor friendly, so I'll want to use them too. But a lot of people, you'll go to some of these big seminars and they'll say, oh, you have to build your power team. Well, in one phone call, you can build it, and then you can move on to the stuff that really makes the business happen.
Power team in 7 minutes. 7 steps in 7 minutes to building the power team. Power team. Yeah, that is so true too, though. That's what I felt. So, Lauren, I hope that answers your question. And just to sum it up in summation, so that way you got it again. Reach out to a realtor and say, hey, find me 3 or 4 flips that have been recently done, last 30, 60, 90 days, that have been done, renovated, sold.
And ideally, if they are out of the MLS, you can actually get the before and after photos from prior MLS.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. Yeah. I always put that at the very top, the before and after. We're a visual creature, man. Very visual.
And the one thing that visually stands out to me, Lauren, about your comment is you call yourself a newbie. A lot of people use that as a protection blanket, right? When they're going out and actually talking to these private investors, and they're saying, well, this is my first one, I'm a newbie. Don't do that. I'm working on my next flip.
I like that.
Right? I'm working on my next flip. Wondering if you would be interested in investing in it. Here's some that have been done in this exact neighborhood from members of my team. And there you go.
It's really good. And you're not saying that you did them. You're just saying, hey, these are deals that have been done. And that's how you can really gain the credibility, and the networking thing is so good. There you go. Awesome.
So walking people through flips, is that a good way to raise private money?
Oh, dude, that's when Gio and I used to this was actually before the 2 days back. This was like the 3rd day back. And we used to. It's harder to do now, Marcus. Let's just say that. You got to be part of some sort of real estate education company and kind of be in it and that be a part of the thing. And so that is not really a way that it would be done. Although, excuse you. Whoa, sips and flips and burps. Although you can do like like a 1 day, come in and check out what we got going on, and you can bust people around there. I actually will probably be doing that here pretty soon with some projects that we're going to be doing.
Plan on spending $5,000 on something like that.
Like marketing, or are you talking about like
for marketing for it, but then also the 1 day. If you're going to have about 10 to 12 people come in and shuttle them around for a day to 5 or 6 properties.
Yeah.
Because you're going to want to provide food, make it an experience for them, make it good. But that'll be a solid $5,000 cost.
Probably, yeah.
You're better off. I mean, that definitely is one way to do it. But if you have an active flip, bringing people to the one and bring them individually, so that you can have a very connective communication with them.
Dude, you know what?
What?
I bet you that's actually what Marcus might be talking about. Is I used to do a lot of me and Giovanni and an investor, and we'd walk them. And we show them like, hey, here's our last 6 flips. And they wanted to see them. So yeah, if somebody's coming into an area that you have, but Giovanni and I had so many flips going, and we had 3 houses on one street, all with dumpsters in front of it at one time.
Yep.
And so, we had the luxury of always having probably 10 constructions going on, and 3 or 4 on the prop, or just bought and then renovated.
Each phase.
Yeah. There's always like probably 5 or 10.
And then you end it with, and this one's on market to sell at this price, so the margin that we're making is X.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you have that many deals, not many people, I mean, you do. Yeah, you can pull it off. I don't know anybody other than Luke, but you can. I mean,
there's plenty of people out there.
Do people do as many and are as big as you here in Vegas?
There's a few. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Who are they? Do you care to say, or should you can tell me later? I guess I don't. Does it matter? Yeah. I'm trying to think if I know them.
You'll know 2 of them because they were around back then too.
Okay.
Ben, you asked a question here. Are you tackling any projects with mid-'80s manufactured homes fixed and added onto? I have 3 that just came online and debating them. I actually make a killing on manufactured homes.
You love those.
They're great. They're easy.
Where are you finding them
though? As far as like if I'm getting them from direct mail or wholesalers or
where are they in local?
Oh, so most of mine that I've done are all in the Vegas market.
Okay.
But they're scattered. We could go walk to one over here.
Really?
We seriously could. Yeah, we could walk to 1, 2, 3 over here of mine.
Really?
Yes.
All manufactured?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's probably
one neighborhood.
Yeah.
So mid-'80s is perfectly fine. It's when you get to 1976, it's actually June of 1976 or older, that they didn't have the FHA, the HUD regulations on the construction, so they're not financeable. So you start having hiccups and headaches with that. I've actually got one of those that I bought, and I said, hey, I'm going to buy it knowing that it's built in it was like 1964. And I'm going to throw it right back on market as is to see if I can get somebody else to buy it. And then if not, I'm tearing that shit down and throwing down a brand new 2019 mobile on there and selling it because it's got enough margin on it. So I actually just signed the paperwork yesterday for that contract, and we're going to put a new one on that one.
So you're going to scrap it?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Now
you really started off with SFRs.
Single family residential.
Over here at Vegas Homes Realty. Yeah. We got your SFR served on a platter.
MFH, SFR, whatever you want. We got an acronym and a letter and number for everything.
No, but for real, you when did you start branching into more multifamily and or?
Well, my first flip was actually a condo.
Okay.
So there.
But that was still a single family residence.
Okay.
It was in an association, I get it, but
yeah, but a lot of people are told that condos and townhouses and manufactured homes, that if they're in an association, that they have all these fees that kill the deal. No, you just have to get it at a cheaper price.
Yeah.
And you have to understand the rules and regulations of the neighborhoods too. Because if you're thinking, I'm going to buy this and rent it out, but it's got rent restrictions in it, you don't want that. But no, I've done everything from land to apartment buildings to condos and townhouses.
What do you love now? What are you all in on now? Just basically flips and wholesale?
I will buy anything that I can make money on.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for years, and it still holds true.
Yeah.
Do
you see anything? Are you marketing specifically to anything, or does stuff just as it comes? Do you see everything in Vegas?
Much? We kind of go after whatever we can find based on searching criteria. And it will definitely vary, but primarily we see single family residential.
Okay, can I ask you some questions on this?
Okay, yeah.
On this sips and flips? which is I just still think the greatest freaking format ever.
By the way, if anybody from out of town is ever coming into town and they enjoy a sip and a flip, make sure to hit me up and we'll see if we can schedule in one of these and share knowledge with the group. So
nice. Yvette Hansen's joined. So is Tom Bojanowski. Bojanowski in the house. The booze. So I was going to ask you some questions, and then Lauren, we see your question: are the local real estate networking groups the best way to find a private lender to approach? Best is a very loose term. What is best? You can mail form. You can search public records and mail form, or get lists from title agencies, or talk to your title and escrow person. Say, hey, who do you know? You can go on the courthouse steps and meet people with cash. It's
individualistic.
Yeah.
Because some people can handle talking in a group, other people can't. Some people want to make that intro by a letter and send 100 letters out to people that have financed other cash deals in the past, hoping that somebody's going to call them. But if you go to a real estate investment group and you start having a conversation with one person, guess what? You're going to have 3 other people on your shoulders and listening in, talking, and that could really be unnerving for some people. So it's definitely a personality thing, and everybody's kind of individualistic on that. And so many people, when they're first starting out, also are afraid to say the wrong thing. But if you're not saying anything, that's the wrong thing, because you get that garbage out of your mouth and perfect your pitch. Get
that garbage out of your mouth. That's the best line I ever heard all day. Just get that garbage out of your mouth, sir.
Yeah, because think about when you first started. I first started.
Yeah.
Keith and I actually 7 years ago. Keith and I did some phone calls.
Yep.
And I was working on my pitches.
Yep.
And I remember Keith, one of them, Keith is like, dude, just hang up. Just hang up.
Oh, really?
It's like, I already killed it. So why, like, in a bad way. So it's like, okay, move on to the next one. Because you know what? There's always another one to move on to.
That's
but
really
if you're not having the conversations, you're not going to make the mistakes and then get better.
That's so good. Oh, remember we used to give the advice, because I used to have a source where I could get numbers for you guys. And we're like, hey, do you plan on investing in Alaska? Nope. Call there first. I think Shock was the guy that really said, hey, whatever state you're not going to invest, go call those 15 investors first and mess everything up on them.
That is true. There's all different ways to actually get numbers of private investors. You could post on Facebook, digging through title records, all kinds of different things. But if you get them from a phone number for somebody from out of state, you're never going to see them again. So if you do awful on your pitch, there's no harm.
I'm like, hang it up. Next. I have forgotten about that story. That is so funny, man. So, yeah. There's also 2 things. This is an analogy that has made a lot of sense for me. And, finding more deals and finding money. I always say there's only 3 things that make you money in real estate, right? Finding deals, finding money, and then managing the contractor or managing your property manager, after the contractor. And so it's like playing the guitar. You're learning the strum pattern or the finger plucking pattern, or you're learning how to form the chords. And I remember when I first learned how to play the guitar, I was looking at this hand. I'm like, how do I look at this hand and this hand at the same time? I didn't know how to do it. You don't do it. You have to teach them. And so some of you guys might be brand new at raising private money, learning how to raise private money. And guess what? It's going to feel as awkward as you learn. It's a new skill. That I wasn't born a great raiser of private money. Luke wasn't born that way. We had to get the skill, and just know it's going to take a little time before they really kind of get in sync. And I think that gives you a little bit of grace of keep practicing, but know that it will eventually get easier. Luke and I could literally drop a text and raise private money like that on whatever deal. You know what I mean? And they go, that guy just raised $750,000 off of one text. Wow, what's his texting technique? It's not the technique, it's the relationship.
Yeah, I've already built the relationships. So I know what money my private investors have sitting, because whether I've just closed them out on a deal or there's just some communication along the way.
Yeah.
And I find a deal and I'm like, oh, Mike's got 200,000 sitting. I need 185 for this one. Yeah. It might go in at 185, closing on 10-3 Let me know if you're interested. Sure, I'll take it is typically the response.
Yeah.
Or no, already tied up with another deal coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me know when that money's freed up.
You'd be really stressed if he was your only guy.
Right. That's you want more money than you need.
But that's the thing is that's why it's like the railroad. It's just got two tracks. You're gonna be like, oh my goodness, I've got so much money, I gotta go find deals. Or oh shit, I got a lot of deals, I gotta go find money. Hi, Yvette Hansen.
It's a balancing act for sure. You keep you always keep looking for it.
So I got a question. I wanted to, now I get to my questions. So, because I don't do a lot here in Vegas anymore. You do more than anybody I know. Is it you and 2 or 3 other guys that seem to be getting a lot of the deals? Can a new guy break into the market and scoop up stuff you're not seeing? No, I know that's true, but people want to hear us say that.
Okay, yes, you can.
No, but you know what I mean.
No, you definitely.
You understand the temptation, why people would think that.
Yeah, and it's. I actually just had this conversation with somebody a couple days ago where I'm told it's a tough market. Should I even look at it? Well, for me, when I'm told it's a tough market, it's like, oh, that's the market I want to be in, because when I get my deal, I'm going to be able to sell that thing, whether I'm wholesaling it or flipping it.
I would say competition means there's gold in them.
Yeah, it's a great market to be in if there's competition.
Yeah.
Every day there's somebody picking up a deal here in Vegas for sure. And I've helped plenty of new wholesalers get their first deal. You know, I help them. They've got the lead. They don't know how to close it. They don't know how to run the numbers, whatever it is. And I say, okay, well, I'll buy it at this. So you need to get it cheaper than this.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, they want this. Okay, well, let's go walk it and find out. And then I'll even send, if these guys are remote, I send one of my guys out to take the pictures, or I go out to it. And if I have to deal with the homeowner, and we knock it around, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's at 180. It was what they wanted. We could pay 160. And now this wholesaler's got a deal at 143. And it's like, oh, cool. They just made $17,000.
Yeah.
So why not?
But do you and 2 and 3 other guys get most of the deals?
Well, there's probably a dozen groups or individuals.
So here's what I want to know, and I want to run this number, but I may need you to do it for me after these drinks. How many deals are bought every day in America, all across the country?
Oh, it's thousands.
I would think it would be more than even just thousands.
Yeah.
Not millions, but like, how many do you think it is? How many are bought here, just in Vegas, every day?
The tough thing is, because when you look at cash transactions, which that's kind of where those numbers come from, they're skewed by traditional buyers buying them, but also the hedge funds coming in and buying them.
Okay.
And then a flip is categorized as a house that's sold twice in a 12-month span.
Okay.
And every year there's numbers that come out for the number of flips. I honestly can't remember what it is in Vegas. It's in the tens of thousands. There really are that many that actually happen.
Tens of thousands just in Vegas?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I could be wrong. If somebody wants to research that right now, by all means, please post that.
I know that the number is going to come back as really high, and we're going to be like,
how are there that many deals?
Because everybody's like, dude, if I don't know, man, if there's 12 Alukes in that city, I'll never find a deal. It's like, were you crazy?
Yeah.
But it would be fun to know what the actual number is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun to know?
We could do some research, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'd have to sort it through. Look at you guys on Sips and Flips. We're sorting through some new algorithms. I love it. It's new data.
But the main thing is that there's plenty of deals out there for everyone. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm not afraid to have these open conversations with all of you. Well, that's why I'm not afraid to have a party where I'm putting people together that haven't ever met each other. Then all of a sudden they're doing a deal that I would have loved to have gotten that deal, but I didn't, and that's okay, because there's plenty of deals out there for everyone. Whether it's in Las Vegas or in other markets across the U.S.
You really believe that, though?
Oh, yeah.
I know, but like people say that, but you really believe it.
Yeah. I know for a fact that people have come to my events and made deals there while they're sitting. I'm up talking or something, or ordering another drink, and these guys are connecting, and they're like, oh, I've got a property over here. Oh, send me the details. And they're like, yeah, done. I'll take it. Cool.
Yeah.
sit there, get deals, and enjoy my food and drinks.
Yeah, and know that you were a connector for somebody to do some cool shit.
Yeah.
That's
Because
so
you know
fun.
what? The more successful other people are around you, the more chance they have of making you successful as well. Because if that person found one deal, who cares if they gave it to somebody else? If they find another deal, that one might come your way.
Yeah. That's so good, man. That is so good.
Let's see. Matt Smith is asking, what ARV are you buying at in Vegas? It really depends because it depends on repairs, the quality of the house, how fast I think you can fix and flip it, and the amount of inventory in the area, which also goes to how fast I think it'll move.
This is the rule, right? You gotta pour it so
Yeah.
you can see it. Okay.
Woo! You haven't spilled yet. You're doing
No,
good.
do you need some more?
Yeah, I'll take some more.
Little schnapps.
So I don't have a set formula for what I buy. Basically, I need to make money is my thing.
Yeah. Which is
Not
the right
a dollar isn't enough, obviously. But I'm talking, maybe an average of 20,000 on a deal is what I'm looking at. But if I'm buying a $500,000 house, I better make a lot more than 20,000 because I'm tying up a lot more capital.
Yeah.
Because if I could do 3 other houses in that, guess what? I probably want to make 50, 60,000 on this one.
Yeah.
Unless it's a slam dunk deal and it's going to sell in a week after I put it on the market. So I'll have that deal for 45 days and it'll still net me out 40,000. I'll do that all day long.
Yeah.
But if it's a burned out house and I have to put 150,000 into the rehab and it's going to be 13 months in permitting and inspections and just a pain in the ass, guess what? I'd better be making 100K plus on it.
Isn't it crazy that we're in such a small niche of what we do, like every single day, whether it's raising private money for deals or doing deals, and we're this little sliver, and there's this whole other rest of the world like, what are those crazy people talking about? They don't care anything about what we're saying, but these people do, and I love that.
And you guys who are continually joining in, please ask your questions. A great question so far, guys. And if you are having a drink with us, please let us know what you are drinking.
Yeah.
Tonight is not sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka.
But it's sponsored by root beer.
Henry Weinhardt's root beer.
Root beer. Yeah. And we've had, if I might slur a little bit, I'm not slurring, but you know what I mean. I've had a few. This is fun.
Yeah.
It's a Friday night.
Woo. We're running out of root beer.
Yeah. I don't know. What is it? Let me get it.
I can hang on. I'll do an Uber Eats for more root beer.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Dude, I am craving those hockey nachos.
We are a team. We are a team mentality.
Let's see here. I think we might be having some more. Whoops. There we go. At what point could someone quit their day job and do this full time?
3 times.
3 times your what?
3 times your salary. If you're not making 3 times your salary, flipping houses or wholesaling, you should keep your day job.
I agree with that. I mean, to a certain extent. I like.
I like what you said, but let me trash that and tell you.
No. That's a way to do it. 3 times your salary. That's good. I would say for some people, you always want to prove the vehicle works, that you know how to at least drive it to a win. So make some money at it first, I think is the best rule of thumb. And then if you have 8 to 12 months reserves.
Yeah. Reserves are going to be key.
Yeah. And I think that there are some of you that might be working jobs, not just the people watching live, but possibly in the replay, where your job is sucking your soul so bad that you need to really reconsider maybe getting a different job. So that way it might free up some more time to do things. I remember I turned down some higher level job and commitment part while I was working my job, trying to do real estate on the side, because I knew that I needed my side time and I needed that. So
yeah.
And if you just get really, really disciplined.
The one thing though is in real estate, the checks don't come, especially when you're starting out, they don't come every 2 weeks. Yeah. You can go 3-4 months without. Hang on, Uber Eats is here.
A pregnant Uber Eats. A very pregnant Uber Eats. Hey there.
Hi. 2 weeks.
2 weeks what?
2 weeks and then the baby's coming.
Oh, good night. I thought you were talking about the 2 weeks check. That's what you just crossed my brain up.
Yeah, she's going for a 2 week check next Tuesday.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool.
pour some of that.
Yeah.
So Lauren, it's you definitely want reserves. You have to have planning for it. But
Let's
that's
see if anybody was able to see from what I posted.
yeah, Keith. That's a really good point, though. That if you are unhappy in your current job, if it's taking all of your time, maybe you can find a position that frees up more of your time and gets less stress, or stress reduced, and you can focus more on real estate. So it can be a transition like this versus just a straight cutoff.
Oh, they got to join the Flipping Blueprint group to.
Yes, I've been letting people in.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Yvette, I love it. This is great, guys.
Keep asking questions, group. You guys are doing awesome. Hey, Fabian, buddy, how you doing?
Keep asking questions. We'll keep drinking. If I start slurring the words, it just means because I'm happy. You have done some remote stuff. You've been doing remote for since I remember you.
Yep.
Since as long as I've known you. But tell me a little bit about what you've been up to lately. Are you still doing remote stuff, or more remote wholesaling, or kind of what do you? Where's that going?
So we're still doing remotely. Most of our national stuff we end up wholesaling, just because it's got to be a pretty good slam dunk for us to take it remotely. We still do a decent amount in Arizona for our flips.
Do you use what's your marketing when you go remote?
Postcards? No, actually, the remote stuff that we end up picking up typically comes from our pay-per-click advertising.
Mm-hmm.
That's our biggest draw for anything that's out of state. Although we do get people in Nevada that see our marketing here, mm-hmm. and then they say, hey, I've got a house in Georgia that I want you to look at. Will you buy there? Sure, we'll buy anywhere. Mm-hmm. So that's how we find some of our.
And then you'll lock it up and then find. Now, how do you find it? If you don't have buyers out there, do you just co-wholesale it mostly, or?
50-50.
What does that mean?
Sometimes we'll co-wholesale. We'll partner up, we'll JV, whatever you guys want to call it, if we can't find our own buyer. So if we're...
But if you were to go, let's say somebody says it's out in Saskatchewan, wherever, and you're like, okay, cool, you check the comps, like, okay, we'll buy it. So what's your next step, just for the people?
So I use Facebook for a lot of our marketing. Now, as soon as I get a lead that comes in, let's say I have a lead that comes in through my pay-per-click, even before we get that thing locked up,
that was tough. That was a tough one.
There's a cookies on ice cube.
Mm-hmm.
We actually start building our buyers list immediately in there because it's just a couple of posts. One of my acquisitions managers will usually post in Craigslist.
Okay. What section, Craigslist? Real estate wanted? Right, where everybody.
Real estate wanted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then using some keywords, fixer, flip, wholesale, all that kind of damage. To that way, if somebody's doing keyword searches or they're using one of the programs out there that does keyword search, look for Craigslist, ours will come up. And then they can just sign up onto our post or onto our website and put where they're looking to buy. So we use that as an immediate outlet, but then also we'll go into Facebook groups in those market areas. So if I
like Saskatchewan real estate Facebook group.
Yeah, exactly.
Our real estate group on Facebook.
Yep.
That's so smart.
Yeah, and then if we do get it locked up, then we go a little bit heavier with it, saying where I'll post, hey, I've got a deal here, or we go into the Craigslist and actually do a real ad for the property itself. But meanwhile, we might already have 3 to 10 potential buyer leads that have come in from our other marketing, and we're putting it out to them as a direct email to them.
So you've got it working on all cycles.
Yep.
That's smart.
Oh yeah, because it's not always holding out for that higher offer. It's holding out for the person that's actually going to close.
Yeah.
Right. So if I've got somebody,
certainty's worth more.
Yeah. Especially when you're doing volume, it's okay. I could try to squeeze another $500 out of this, but it's not worth it.
Have you ever been stuck with a remote property? You're like, damn it, I couldn't find somebody to wholesale it off to.
Yeah, we've gone back with price reductions because if it's remote, we lock it up and then we have to go inspect.
Yeah.
And then we go and have to do this place is a piece of shit.
Yeah, right.
Like you didn't tell us that the second floor was missing.
Yeah.
because we want to be honest with our buyers too. That's the main thing. Never hide anything from your buyers. They're going to find out. I actually have taught a lot of wholesalers how to do better photos, because you don't want to do a whole bunch of work and hold back photos or just not get good photos. And then when your buyer actually goes and does a walk on the property, some will buy sight unseen, but when they actually do a walk on the property, they're not going to close because there's 20,000 more in repairs that they weren't expecting.
Yeah.
Kills the deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. I didn't realize you had so many people in this flipping blueprint group, dude.
Yeah, and I still ask the questions and restrict who I let in.
I love it.
If you don't answer the questions, you don't get in unless you accidentally got in.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's really awesome.
Yeah, and one of the things that a lot of people, when they because I ask basically what do people need, what are you looking for, is one of my questions, and a lot of people are looking for private money. So I was glad that you're able to jump on today and be part of this. Because
and if they need more, like even just on my Facebook, have been posting a lot more videos of how we do it, just totally free stuff. If you guys want to see it, it's like, will I say that?
No, I'm going to erase that.
Erase that.
Keith is tagged in here, so you can click on his name and find all of his stuff and reach out to him. Great dude. He loves to share. He's got some products out there. If you're interested, go for it. I definitely love the things that you share with people too.
Thanks,
so
I love you as a human, dude. I really do. Like, you're good. You're just a good human, man.
Thanks.
I'm so glad we've been friends this long.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm sad you moved, but that's just a reason for me to come out and do some body surfing.
It makes this kind of fun though too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm back. Let's go to hockey. Okay, I'm staying another day. We're doing it. Yeah, I love it.
Let's see. Ben's asking a question. I've been doing a ton of owner-occupied foreclosure and quick sale, moving, divorce, etc. that need time to move out. My standard has been 10% cash to them, hold back until they are out of the property and left room clean. Is that standard? One thing that we do on ours, and I've actually told a lot of the local wholesalers that I work with here, is we typically do a $5,000 holdback held by escrow, and we give a date. If the seller is not out by date, that money is released to us. If they're out on or before that date, the money is returned to them in full.
Yeah.
Other people they'll hold back $3,000, and every day is $100 reduction of that $3,000.
Yeah.
But that doesn't protect you if they go more than 30 days.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure whatever amount it is, Ben, that you make it enough where it makes sense for them to move out, and also makes sense for you to inherit them as a squatter, somebody that you're going to have to evict and could possibly do damage to the house.
Yeah, that's
But
really good.
5,000 is kind of the norm that we have going in Vegas, and I don't know if I'm the one that really kind of created that, but we were doing that, and then now you see it a lot more commonly.
What was that?
$5,000 holdback.
Oh yeah. Hey, there was something Matt Smith said, and this is a question to you. I think he's asked about. Have you noticed the market slow down? What are your thoughts on the market? Can I say something to that?
Please do.
Matt, depends on what market. I think that we sometimes forget that there's hundreds of markets in the United States.
Yeah.
And
some markets within those markets.
Yeah, there's a lot of quote unquote markets. And dude, the middle of America experiences the same, a totally different effect on the same time frame that the coasts might. So, which market, Matt? Would be what I want to add more clarity on.
Respond to where you are at.
Yeah, and then if we have experience there,
now I'll talk about Vegas as a market. Vegas has definitely slowed down a little bit, but if you truly are running your numbers and analyzing them and not just looking at data that the MLS posts, you'll see that the amount of inventory has increased weekly. And not the amount of inventory, it's the month supply of inventory has increased weekly for the last 13 weeks, I think my numbers show. But over the last 8 or 9 weeks, the amount of actual inventory has dropped. So less houses are being listed for sale. So that number is going down, but there are less sales. That's not right. Hang on. We had a Wi-Fi issue. But we shouldn't be on Wi-Fi. Let's see if I can type here.
Anybody was able to see what I posted?
Keep that a good point, though. Let's see if that posted. Oh, they can hear us.
I still think we're on, dude.
Are we still on?
We're still on, man.
That's hilarious. We're watching ourselves.
We're watching ourselves, realizing, wait, we're still on. Oh yeah, because I just did the finger wave. So this is like 15, 20 seconds.
We've got a delay, and it's the screen is showing a.
That
a
is the
wheel.
Wi-Fi. That is not the Tito's
But
gang.
we're not on Wi-Fi. What's going on? Okay.
That is so funny. I'll close
Deja
that.
vu. All
I'll
right.
totally close that.
Looks like Keith Yackey just joined us. Hi, Keith. How you doing?
Oh, I did. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they're looking like, no, it works, you idiots.
All right.
Oh
So we're
my God.
good.
I feel like we're 65 years old, like we've never been on the internet.
All right. Yeah, Brady. This again, if you're writing here and you got to jump in, jump out. This will stay in the Flipping Blueprint group page, and most likely it'll end up getting pulled out and going to a YouTube page eventually. But if you are watching this in replay, ask your questions for the little bit of time that we're still going to be on here. But keep asking your questions. Matt's in Colorado. Going back to Matt.
Nobody's curious about Vegas. Well, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know Colorado definitely had Colorado and Denver proper started slowing down around I think it was August of last year, where it had gotten really hot for 3 years prior, and up and down the 70.
Does that thing
Is it the
really?
70 that goes north south and through Denver? Anyways, that whole corridor just got way too pricey. The prices jumped too fast, so it had to slow down. And that happens in markets all the time. San Diego did it in 2014. A lot of investors lost their ass because they were not tracking their inventory levels. And that's one of the biggest things that I've been preaching for years is track your inventory levels. Don't let other people tell you how many houses there are. It's a real easy process. You go in the MLS, active listings divided by the last 30 days of closed sales, and that's your months of supply. Right now we're at 3.06 months of inventory.
Oh, it used to be like 1 point something or almost 2,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was
I remember when it was down to like 0.78. Crazy. Flying off the shelf. We're still trying to reconnect though.
And you were, but dude, we've evidenced the fact that we're still alive.
And if you are drinking, let us know what you're drinking.
Yeah.
Cheers, bud.
This is so fun, man. Does a little slowdown, does that even affect, does that play into any, how does that play into effect with your strategy and what you do?
So I track my numbers weekly, so I know what's coming and going. And you can never be prepared for the worst, but you can be prepared for standard market cycles. So as inventory levels increase, I increase my margins that I have to do. So my purchasing formulas change. I want more. When I run my formula for today, I'm adding a higher profit margin on it, knowing that, hey, it could get soft. I could have this deal for a little bit longer, or my ARV might even drop. That way it protects me on that deal, so that deal doesn't go south. I can still make money on it.
I'm curious, just because I know I want to share this with the people that follow me as well in our group and stuff. I just lost the question. I just lost the question.
If you know the question that Keith was going to be asking,
dude,
please post
it's
it.
really important too, man. It's really super important. Yeah, found it. How many offers do you make compared to how many you get? See how important that question was, and I almost lost it.
So it used to be, I was lucky to be getting 3%, 5% of my offers accepted because I was doing a lot more offers through the MLS. I don't do so many offers in the MLS anymore.
Yeah, I'm
I
curious
really
as to
don't.
what you, and I want to know next, where do you get most of your deals?
Yeah, so I would say about 50% of my deals come from either wholesalers or MLS or pocket deals from realtors, and the other 50% is all organic lead generation that we get.
Organic, not even PPC?
Well, that's part of
Oh, okay.
our organic.
I think organic is free. I think PPC is paid.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So
because you paid for those ads, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I look at that as paid traffic.
Yeah. So paid traffic, but it's so there's depending on which world that you're actually in and the nomenclature that you're using on paid culture versus or paid advertising, paid leads versus sweat equity leads, things like that, where you're door knocking, you're doing flyers, you maybe doing in-house mailers that cost very little. So that for me, it's in-house lead generation. All of that is combined in there for me.
Okay.
But I do track all of it for a cost.
Yeah.
Even if it's a mailer for whatever it is, 40. What's the price of a stamp now? Does anybody know? 42 cents, 47 cents.
Yeah, maybe it might even be 50s.
They might always just say forever. So
yeah,
that's how they get you.
Oh man, so
I haven't bought stamps in years.
So you do about half. Okay, so what was the question? So you used to get 3 to 5 offers out of 100.
Three to yeah.
Accepted.
So I would say right now, I'm probably, because I'm a little more pointed and direct on my offers, and when we're looking at our in-house advertising and all, as well as wholesale offers that we're making offers on, I'm probably pushing 25 to 35%. I don't track all my offers like I used to. It's just not a relevant tracking statistic for me anymore. But it definitely was back when I was making all my MLS offers.
Yeah. People are always still shocked that there's deals on the MLS.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's like, well, of course there's going to be deals on there. It's the biggest auction block in America for property.
Yeah, and it's training a realtor on how to make offers and willing to make offers below list price.
Yeah.
And it's
as long as that's what it makes. That's what the deal makes.
Oh yeah, I've had offers on the MLS where I offered above list and got the deal, and I still made a pretty penny on them.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have to be able to jump on there. One of the deals that I'm closing next week, I bought it on the MLS for $140,000. I put like $8,000 into it, maybe $10,000, and I'm selling it for $189,000. Not a big margin by any means, but it was still a pretty easy slam dunk deal. A lipstick remodel, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll buy it and sell it. Came with somebody had a bad tenant, and that's why I wasn't selling. So I offered them less than list, got it, and I'm selling it. Another one that I'm selling, I bought it for like $109,000 off the MLS. It had issues, a big remodel. We put about 45 into it, and we're selling it for $229,000, and that was off the MLS.
And that's not only is it on the MLS, but that's down in the low range where there's a lot of people fighting to find deals. Where's your sweet spot, Luke, for finding deals?
I'm glad you clarified for finding deals with that.
Sweet spot meaning like dollar amount.
I thought you were talking about something else.
No, what's your sweet spot for the price range that you get most of your deals?
I would say that our purchasing right now runs in the 180 to 220 range is what we're purchasing. Where before we were getting a lot in the 120 to 150 range.
What's the difference?
Just prices have gone up. They've gone up that much. So you're still dealing with the same type of houses and the same type of sellers, same neighborhoods, but the prices have gone up that much in Las Vegas, where we are in that price range. Each market's different, though. I mean, if I'm, you guys can pipe in here and say what you're getting at in your markets. But if you're in Kansas City and you're buying at $20,000 and they're $15,000 remodels and you're selling at $80,000, or maybe you're in San Diego and you're buying at $500, putting $80 into it and selling at $800.
Yeah.
In Scottsdale, people were buying at $300 to $500, putting $150 to $250 into them to open them up and gut them and do full remodels, and then selling them for $7 to $1 million. So it really definitely varies on your market.
Yeah, that's so true.
And it depends on your risk tolerance too. I don't like doing a lot of big ones because it takes up so much capital. And if there is a market shift, you end up hanging on to a dog more often than not,
Mm.
which is never a good thing.
No, it's fun. It's fun talking with you about your philosophy. I know you and I are like really just open books on what we teach and where we're at and what we do, and it's so fun, man. This has been really been interesting. I was just gonna see. That's okay.
I had a deal come over. I was responding to.
Bad tenant deals. I just learned something new.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No,
break that one down. Do you have any candy here at all? Sips, flips, and maybe just not chips, but maybe chips. That looks so healthy.
Let's see. Yeah, so tenant deals. If you go on the MLS and you take a look at sold properties that were either tenant occupied or owner or vacant occupied, you'll see typically in any market that there's a 10 to 15% drop in price for something that's tenant occupied. It's just a pain in the ass to get into. So less people see it, so it doesn't sell as quick or as high.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the business. And it's funny that, if you really want to make a business, you go after houses. So you guys can all do this. If you're going to make offers on MLS properties, they've been on market for 60 days or more, and they're tenant occupied. Make offers on those. And especially if they haven't had a price drop in the last 30 days. That's even more so. That you'd like to see one price drop, but no price drop in the last 30 days.
This just came to me, and this might be Tito's and Views.
That's the whole point.
But this is a very interesting thought. Most newbies and inexperienced people in real estate talk about and get afraid of generalities in the real estate market. Guys who are doing it day in and day out understand the specifics, and so therefore they're not afraid.
Right, because generalities are based on factual data sets and when we really look at it,
Yeah.
right? So when I say, overall tenant occupied properties sell for less, I'm not spouting that out of my ass. It's because I've done the research and I know. So when you hear generalities from other people, when I hear it, I'm like, I need to look into that.
Yeah, like I need to.
That might be a little nugget that I can win on.
Yeah, and isn't that interesting? Did that strategy come? How did you come across with that strategy?
That actually comes from my appraisal days, where I've noticed that difference on properties that you're taking a look. Well, why did this one sell for so much less than the other ones? It looks exactly the same. Time and time again, it was tenant occupied, and it had a longer days on market, and it was difficult to get into. And interviewing hundreds of realtors over the 15 years of appraising, that's a lot of where that knowledge base came from.
By the way, to post this in my group, man.
For everyone else that is still with us, we are still trying to connect on our screen, which is hilarious. But we're still getting comments.
What if it stops? Let me check. What if it stopped?
I think we're still getting comments, so I think we're okay. We got new people joining in over the time too.
Oh, we're caught up, right? Almost caught up.
See if the hands go up.
Yeah, they already went up. Watch this. Boom, snap.
There we go.
Oh, so it was 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we're still good.
All right. Yeah, guys.
By the way, I've never jumped on a show live like this, got buzzed off of alcohol with a buddy and talk real estate. This is still
a great format, right?
This is my favorite format ever, dude.
Well, guys, I think we'll go for just a couple minutes here longer. If anyone has one or two last questions, please ask away. But again, Keith, the best way for them to contact you is just going to click on your name on this and Keith Yackey and send you a message and see what you're all about.
Yep. And then I think if you guys have the opportunity, you got a live thing coming up here pretty soon that I think people should really, whenever I hang around this guy, I learn. I mean, it's funny that 7 years ago I was showing you some things, and now you can show me so many things, and I love that, dude. I think it's fucking awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you guys, if you can get out here to Vegas, what is all that about?
October 25th, I'm doing a mastermind. Now, it's not for brand new individuals, and there is a cost to it. We try not to pitch or anything on this, but since you brought it up,
Yeah.
shoot me an email. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see posts about it. It's $1,000 for the seat for the day, and that's really food and booze and networking. 10 to 15 seats max for investors actually doing business, and we're going to dig into everybody's business, and we're going to get everybody sharing their secrets, what's working. And if you can't 20 times your investment on that, actually, if you can't 100 times your investment, I wanted to put 100 times on it because that just sounds so ridiculous. But really, if you can't make $100,000 off of that if you're in this business, it's crazy not to be there. So
you won't say maybe some of the stuff I'm about ready to say about you, but like, dude, you really are one of the smartest guys I know when it comes to flipping, and just real estate in general. I mean, just flipping, but just understanding real estate and how it works. And for those of you who are wanting to up level your game, you have to come around. You have to be around people who are doing what you want to do to get to that level. And it just, there's an energy, there's a swagger, there's a osmosis, there's something happens live, and then there's connections. Yeah. You know, there may be a guy from Louisville that watches this replay and goes, dude, I'm going to go out to Vegas. And next thing you know, he meets a guy in Dallas, and the guy in Dallas, and then next thing you know, they do a wholesale deal just because of that connection. So that pays their investment back way of time. But then they learn all this stuff that's like, well, how are you doing so many deals? Like, I always tell people about you, and they're like, how is he doing so many deals in that market? Yeah. It's like, well, it's all the stuff that they say.
You just got to get out and tell people what you're doing.
Yeah.
Networking is huge. I mean, and again, going back to my story of being the guy that sits in the back of the room, just holding my drink, waiting for people to come to me. I had to stop doing that. I got up on stages, I was talking in front of hundreds of people and then sharing this business. But I honestly like the format where I have a drink. I'm talking to small groups, whether it's one of the parties I throw or one of these small kind of events.
Mm-hmm. Do you invite private investors to that?
The private investors can go if they want to up their game. So that's definitely fine. The caveat is if you've got 20 plus deals.
Got it.
We're not looking for brand new people into the business because we want people that can share and add to the group. We've got people coming from all over the U.S. Already, and there's still a few seats available. But again, we're not trying to pitch. That's just the biggest thing you can get out of this last 3-5 minutes is increase your marketing. Get out and talk to people that are actually doing the business and people that have the abundance mentality like we do and want to share. And I do want to share again, if anybody has a question, please ask. We got time for another 1 or 2 questions. We've actually done really good today, guys. Lots of great questions.
This has been so fun for me, man. Yeah, this is so good. And dude, I just think this is just about life right here, right now. Is if you want to be doing something at a high level, you get around as high of level as you can possibly afford or get into that room. It's meant that simple piece of knowledge has actually meant millions of dollars to me.
Oh yeah.
Getting into rooms that maybe you even feel like the smallest, like you barely made it. You just did 20 deals and Luke did 20 deals last month. Doesn't matter. It's like I went to a dinner with a bunch of people. Darren Hardy was there. A lot of the really cool guys. And I felt like the smallest fish in that pond. Yeah. And I loved it. I was like, oh, finally, this is where you want to be. So that's just life. Whatever your business is, if you're trying to grow your real estate business or you have other business you're growing, being around people that set the new normal. That's really it's called, setting the new normal. And that's powerful. So
yeah, I agree.
Even what we're doing here. It's like the fact that you're listening to 2 guys that have made millions of dollars in real estate and you're thinking, I want to do that one day. You're eavesdropping on a conversation. That's powerful.
It's a great format, right?
It's the best. I don't even know what to do with this. I'm going to do one in California where maybe we get high and then do it California style. But this is that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a podcast and I'm going to have guys like you and all my other buddies that are crushing it in real estate. We'll get Rogan on it. But then every 10th episode, I'll drop a gummy bear. And then just go in on it. Yeah. That would be
today's flavor of the.
And I'll just talk about what flavor we're doing. Oh, that is best. So you're doing I'll do high. We'll call it high profits.
I like that works. I like that. See, it's brainstorming around other
Yeah,
people.
man. You guys are gonna see Keith Yackey podcast come out, and every, I don't know, maybe 10th or 20th episode, maybe every 25th. I don't know. It'll be one of the episodes.
It'll be every other episode by the second episode.
By the second episode. That reminds me, my mother-in-law, she does this thing. She goes, oh, that's one in a row. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm in trouble. This is awesome, man. Let's get high. I like Daniel. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, again,
this has been so fun, man. Thank you for having me on. Like, I love this, and do it with you. It's like, this was such a joy.
And if you guys haven't picked up on it, Keith's a pretty big deal. He's a good guy. Tons of knowledge. Brings a lot to the table. I appreciate you coming on and sharing with everybody and being my friend. And we're gonna go hit a hockey game here in Vegas because we're big hockey guys.
I'm so big that I'm like, they serve nachos there, right?
He knows it's on ice.
I've been to one game with you. It was really fun being with you. Yeah.
And they've got bao buns now at the stadium. Buns.
I'm in, man.
And Freed's Bakery. Do you know Freed's Bakery?
Yeah, no.
You'll love it.
I'm in. But you know what's cool? Can I say one more thing about
Please.
what's cool here? What's so cool is that you got this group of 1,300 people or whatever, and you and I, we met each other 7 years ago. We've done tons and tons of deals, and well, dude, you're one of the guys that I'm like, my family comes to me, they want to place their money, I have them place it with you. Like, that's how much I trust you and how much I love you, and I don't do that with anybody. And how crazy is it? There's 1,300 people here that will have an opportunity to watch this, that were kind of where you were about 7, maybe 8 years ago, and where I was about 12 years ago, thinking, man, I'd like to be an investor. And they're just hearing two normal dudes.
How do I increase my business? Well,
normal dudes just shooting the ever-loving shit right on Facebook Live. What an era and day we live in, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Deep gratitude. These guys are like, oh, they're drunk.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Loose lips, build ships.
Yeah,
man. Like that.
This has been too freaking fantastic, man. So I don't want to have the last word on your show. It's your show, but I had to say that.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. It's been a lot of fun. Again, if you watch this on the replay, you have any other comments you want to add on, even if it's just a cheers, let us know. Again, I do these periodically as I have friends come into town and all sorts of businesses. I do these shows. If you come to town and you're like, hey, I want to go check out Luke's office and meet him, and maybe we can do an episode, reach out to me and we'll see if we can get something on the books, because I always love talking real estate and having a good drink or two.
Dude, you should have some of the people that come to your mastermind jump on this as well.
I think I just might.
That would be cool. So that's another reason why you should come. Get on the sips and flips.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Love you, bro.
All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for joining.